Welcome back again to Break It with Brandon. I'm your host, Brandon Adkins, and if you watched us in the last video, we got to play with fire, which was really fun, and hopefully you guys learned something new with the Onyx FR application. What I want to do is break down some of the more technical details on why those parts either worked or didn't. So let's get into it. The part that you actually saw in that video was designed by one of our application engineers for use under the hood of a vehicle. He was working on a vintage truck and needed a hose clamp that he couldn't just go out and buy. So he designed his own and ultimately ended up printing it on the Markforged printer. Now, the application that we had in mind here, obviously it's going to need to withstand some heat. So what kind of material capabilities do we have to play with? Like we told you in previous videos, it's really good to start with a conceptual design, maybe not the material choice for the finished part, but we're going to maybe do a quick fit check and just make sure that everything works together. Then we'll start building on that and use some different material capabilities. So we started with a PLA part. Of course we had to burn it, we had to have some fun with you guys. We knew that PLA really wasn't the right choice for that application, but hey, we're going to play with some fire, and you guys got to watch the part basically destroy itself. That PLA is a cornstarch based material, so it's going to combust. You're actually adding fuel to your design if you were to use a PLA part. So for things like aerospace and automotive, not a great choice if you're going to use it for an actual finished part. Now the Onyx FR has some very special capabilities. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have held the flame on that part quite as long as I did, but I got a little bit excited, of course. So what I wanted to show there is the self-extinguishing capabilities of the Onyx FR. Super useful for aerospace and automotive applications because we don't want to be adding a fuel source into our design. Obviously, that's a critical requirement for a lot of industries. Onyx FR from Markforged fits very well in those types of applications. So under the hood of the truck, this was a pretty obvious fit. We're going to get some pretty good temperature resistance, and if we did have a fire under the hood, that component that we designed for the hose clamp is not going to be a problem in this situation. Make sure to join us for the next episode where we get to take it to the backyard and see what else we can break next.